It's just
The in my DMX voice, here we go again with this topic. Okay, here we go again. Dominican woman says she's not black, but why? Dominican woman says she's not black, but why? In my Cynthia G voice, guess who's mad?
Right.
Okay, shout out to Cynthia G, no longer with us in the YouTube on YouTube land. Okay, shout out to Cyn G. She put in work. That lady put in work. So in my Cynthia G voice, guess who's mad? Dominican woman says she's not black. I have the video so we could hear it from her own lips, her own luscious Dominican lips. And she'll let you know why she's not black. And again, I ask, mad.
Did we get a response from Godfrey? Since he's usually
No, no, I tried. It's funny because she quotes Godfrey, and I tried to get him up here. Right, he was too scared to come up here. Y'all could quote me on that. We spoke a little bit via DMs, and he sounded like he was gonna come up, and then he ghosted the situation. He just ghosted it, and I wanted him to, because he's very adamant. He makes fun of Latins, but specifically Dominicans when Dominicans say I'm not black. So he's very adamant about roasting them. So I wanted him to come up here and just have him explain why he thinks the way he thinks, and then I was going to give him my opinion of what he says. So he acted like for a minute he was going to come through, and then he didn't. I guess he doesn't want to defend his stance. It's easier to joke at people and not discuss it. So salute to him as well with his punk ass. Right? Okay. So let's play this video now that we've been traumatized by the boobas. Okay.
You okay, Kevin?
Okay. What's wrong, Kevin? What's wrong, baby?
He's heard already. We haven't even started the show yet. He's heard already.
Please don't cry about black men. Address all black American people. Why this isn't gender specific?
I know.
Husa, baby. Husa. Rengekyo. Relax, Kevin. I got you. Don't worry about it.
This is a safe space.
This is a safe space. But Kevin just reminded me, put shit on subscribers only, baby. Because I know y'all gonna get spicy tonight. And y'all can get spicy, but you gotta subscribe.
It's a safe space for now.
Yeah, for now. People will be perturbed. All right. That's what we do on the block. People will be perturbed. This ain't the block if someone's not perturbed. People lurking right now, like, yeah, I'm gonna wait to come up before I say what I gotta say.
And
right now, they're like, I'm gonna see what she gotta say before I'm watching it first. I'm watching. I know y'all watching. Stick around. I got enough triggers for everybody.
And I'm willing to back off. You probably watched a couple of episodes and say, you know what? Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm not going over there. Godfrey said I ain't going over there.
That's what y'all not gonna do to me today.
Okay, so here we go. So welcome everybody. Hit that like and subscribe. You guys feel free to super chat. Okay, feel free to super chat, or if you all about that Cash App, here is my Cash App on the bottom, same as the name of the show, On the Block with Jen. Cash App. Thank you so much to everyone who Cash Apps me behind the scenes once we're off air. Means you caught a replay and you appreciate me. I like being appreciated. Ain't my teeth white? Go ahead, girl. That's nice, right?
Do you do the strips? Because one day I did the strip. The last time I did the description, I smiled on here. I was like, "Whoa, calm down."
Oh no, them strips are the truth. The crest white strips are the truth. They're the truth. Don't go to the dentist and spend $1,000. Go to Rite Aid, Walgreens, CVS. Get you a $50 box of them strips. You be like this. See me?
Seriously.
Was that one treatment or more than one?
It's one box.
It's just one box.
I'm saying, is it one?
This is about, I think, 4 strips.
4, okay.
Probably 4 strips, right?
At an hour a piece, right? You leave them on about an hour.
Half hour. But they have the speed 1 hour treatment as well.
That's the one I used. She was. Yeah. I was like, "Oh, girl, calm down."
Do the 30 minutes. I also always use a straw. Always. So it lasts a lot longer.
I use them sometimes too, when I feel like it, but
Yeah. And you can't use the bootleg ones. Don't use the bootleg ones. Don't be
No.
like, oh, CVS brand does them for $20. No, don't use the bootleg one.
So
Okay,
what
everybody.
brand do you use?
Crest, white strips. Don't use
Oh,
the bootleg.
Crest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll
Oh
check
Like,
yeah,
the bootleg out.
I wouldn't do some things. I do the bootleg, but that's
yeah,
not one of the things.
not
Yeah.
the white strips. No, it's worth the money. It's totally worth the money. Yes, Chad. See, these are still my birthday flowers. Are they not fabulous? I changed their little water, keep them fresh, and
Some sugar in it or some type of food. Like
No,
you put
the little pack of dust that it comes
they
with
pack the
for that
yeah.
water. So I put it, and my baby's been holding on and making me happy. So All right. All right. The chat is popping already. Edwin said, to Spanish people, go to Spain and tell them you are Spanish. See what they say. And I love that we jumping off with that comment because. And Edwin, I'm sure he's Latino. I don't know too many black men named Edwin. Pero, déjame hablar. I love when people say this because they're so indoctrinated, they're so oppressed, they're so colonized, right? That they identify how other people identify them, but not just any other people, white adjacent people or Caucasian people. Follow me. Black people, when you tell them I'm not black, the retort is usually wait till the cops pull you over, right? Not just any cops, the white cops, right? Because they're the ones that have the right to identify you. So Edwin, who's Latino, and we've been colonized as well as Latinos, I know black people, you think oppression and suppression is exclusive to you and it's your baby, but it transcends all ethnicities, right? Anything with melanin has been colonized and oppressed, right? So this gentleman here, Edwin, cálmate, Edwin. The first thing out of his face is, go to Spain, see what the Spanish say you are, right? Giving the power already to the Spaniards as if the Spaniards are some sort of fucking gods. As if whatever the Spaniards say is supposed to take effect in your life. Oh shit, well, the Spaniard told me I was, well, by golly, I guess I'm whatever the Spaniard said I am. Right? These people just give their power away to anything light. Whatever you say, Caucasoid, that's what I am. It's a very, very, very interesting dynamic, right? It's sad too. It's sad that you don't even have your own identity and stand 10 toes down. You're like, I'm going to say this, but if the Spaniards or the cops tell me I'm black, then I guess I'm black because the cops rule. Very, very interesting dynamic. So let's move forward. I think we should jump it off with the video. But before I say anything, I'd like to pass the mic. What do you think about this before I play the video? Because I'm going to give you the video. You're going to hear it from her mouth, what she says, and we'll dissect. But what do you think about this topic in general, Lily?
Well, the funny thing is the Spaniards are just freaking Germans who speak Spanish, right? So they're just a bunch of white people speaking Spanish. So yeah, I mean, to a lot of melanated people, the white ice is colder. So I guess it's on brand to wait for the Caucasian persuasion to let us know what we will be identifying for the next year or 10, right? Because I think they help to switch it up every decade or so. So yeah, it's a very interesting thing, but usually when somebody wants you to be a part of, because I can speak for being black, right? It's like, for me, it seems like they want me to be something because it identifies with oppression. So come be oppressed with me, right? And I notice the ones who do it the most are the ones who claim to be pro-black and conscious and like fight the power and stuff. But I'm like, you seem to feel more oppressed than anyone, especially me, right? So it's a very interesting thing when it comes to the identification thing, because it seems like the ones who are the most upset about how someone identifies as the ones who feel the most oppressed. Whether they are or not, they feel it. So they need you. Misery loves company type of situation. They identify being Black or brown with misery and oppression. I'll pass the mic because I got more to say.
Colonizer, what say you?
Well, this is the thing. I like to give examples. So there's validity to what she's saying in this sense. I consider myself at this point an American. If I say I'm French or English and go over there, they're going to say, no, you're not. You're not French and you're not English. And culturally, they're correct. There are differences in cultures. I have to look up. I don't think the Spaniards came from Germany, but I understand what she's saying. They're Europeans. They're all Europeans, but they're different cultures, and we see that in the music. We see that in the food. So therefore, they're a different ethnicity or a different culture. So I understand. I haven't heard what she said, but I kind of understand what she's saying. Plus, Black was put on people. There's no such thing as Black. That's put on you through people that look like me. So I can understand her wanting to reject that as well.
Exactly.
Shots fired by the colonizer on this evening. He ain't playing with y'all, and he ain't scared of y'all. He just said it with his chest. Let's continue. What say you, Black man?
I'm just wondering, like, so today I'm Black because I'm usually told I'm Jamaican and to keep my opinions to myself.
Well, it depends on what your opinions are tonight.
For tethers, my bad, fellow tether.
Like, it's very confusing. It's
Well, it depends on what your opinion is tonight. You might get kicked out of the Black community again tonight. So just tread lightly, proceed with caution. Okay.
I'm gonna go with she's Dominican, no Black.
Okay.
I'm gonna run with that.
You're wrong with
that. Yeah, let's see where this goes.
Okay, let's see where it goes. You mean
damn sure ain't Black, so
tonight you're not Black, according to the people.
That's,
the people
right.
Honestly, that's a hell of a much more compliment than you think it is, sir.
Yeah, everybody stand down. We just got started. Stand down. Damn. Okay. All right. So let's get into this video. Let's see what Mama was talking about. I'm going to play it twice because, to be a good witness, you got to at least watch something more than once to really grasp it. It's just a couple seconds long. It's a TikTok reel. And then we'll get into this. All right. Mino Black. She's a cute girl, too.
Mm-hmm.
She's a cute girl. All right, let's play this. Y'all better start saying it with your super chat chest. Y'all be talking a lot of shit and not throwing no money in the chat. We ain't reading your shit. Especially if you's a stranger to the block. Who sent you?
Kevin, please don't make any attempts to speak Jamaican patois. That reads terribly. I know what you're trying to say, but that just reads terribly.
Oh, you know patois?
Yeah, I know patois.
Haran, I'm just saying that picture you showed us about April and speaking patois, I'm just saying that shit happens when people in the same room. I'll just say, shit just be happening and shit. Hey.
It does.
Hey, we're all human.
Okay.
Hey, right? We're friends here.
We are.
Yes, we are. Okay, Michael H says, if I saw her and was passing by her downtown, nah, she not Dominican, she Black. That's how we do it in America. First appearances. All right, Michael. All right. Let's play the video and let's see what she has to say. She has a right to identify.
I don't think we do have rights anymore to identify the way. We have to allow everyone else to identify as we no longer can identify ourselves. That's
Lily.
old school.
Oh, that's old school, like identifying how you see fit.
Yes, you have to let other people identify you.
Okay. Lord, I told you tonight was gonna be a good night. All right, where is this girl? Here we go. Okay, here's this girl right here. Let's get her up here. See what Miss Mamas had to say. Miss Mamas. See what Miss Mamas had to say.
Dominicans are not Black. We are not Black. And no matter how much Black Americans cry about it, we are not Black. We will never be Black. Yes, I look Black, but we are not Black. And it is a reminder to Black Americans who are so pathetically forcing Dominicans to label themselves as Black. Where we keep telling them we have our own culture. We know Black, papi. They still force it on us. So just a reminder, Dominicans are not Black, period.
Wow.
Reminder that Dominicans are not Black. We are not Black. And no matter how much Black Americans cry about it, we are not Black. We will never be Black. Yes, I look Black, but we are not Black. And it is a reminder to Black Americans who are so pathetically forcing Dominicans to label themselves as Black. Where we keep telling them we have our own culture. We know Black, papi. They still force it on us. So just a reminder, Dominicans are not Black, period.
One more time.
Reminder that Dominicans are not Black. They're not Black. And no matter how much Black Americans cry about it, we are not Black. We will never be Black. Yes, I look Black, but we are not Black. And it is a reminder to Black Americans who are so pathetically forcing Dominicans to label themselves as Black. Where we keep telling them we have our own culture. We know Black, papi. They still force it on us. So just a reminder, Dominicans are not Black, period.
What she said what she said.
You want to know what's funny though?
You wanted all the smoke.
Couple of things that's funny.
Okay.
Little Black queer person identify as Black. Nah, you ain't Black. Nah, you LGBT, you something else. Now she Black. You not Black. She is. The lady who says she not Black, she the Black one. You queer person that's saying you're Black, you're not allowed to be Black. That's why I don't take these fucking conversations seriously, right? Because that's how I know it's rooted in some other shit, right? But this is the other thing. We are taught to identify people by their phenotype here in America. We are not educated on the difference between culture, race, ethnicity, and the whole color thing. We are the only ones in the entire world that identifies humans as a color. And because we're so self-righteous here in America, we just think that that's the way. Even though we're the only ones in the whole world that does it. And it is rooted in negative connotations from No Saints people, right? So the fact that, but one thing I know about my people, they want to hold on to everything that was given to them by Whitey and defend it with their life. So, and then get upset when you don't do the same thing. So that's why I'm starting with this.
I mean, it does make sense because just for the sake of the argument, let's just entertain this bullshit. There is race and there's ethnicity. If you entertain this, you would say that I am a Black man and my ethnicity, or excuse me, my nationality rather, is Jamaican. Now, if you take that same concept and you relate it to Black people in America, you're basically saying that your race is Black and your nationality is American. So it would stand to reason that in all actuality, if we're going to essentially classify it as such, the young Dominican young lady is indeed a Black woman. However, according to the chat, she is not. So essentially, someone, I guess, has to be, I don't know, Black Americans in America, or I don't know, Black, they're not American. Their nationality is Black and their race is Black. So they're Black. I have no clue. All of this is very confusing. It defies the confines of logic. You know what I mean? It's far more confusing than even the construct of race itself. So I just let them niggas just figure that shit out in the corner, you know what I mean, somewhere, because it's just like, how is this, for instance, when Obama does something correct,
we're gonna figure it out tonight. We're not in the corner. We're gonna figure it out on the block tonight. Good.
when Obama did something correct, he was black. When this nigga motherfucking fucked up, he was a quadroon. So you know, it's just a lot of goalpost shifting. It's just goalpost shifting. A lot of this shit is just goalpost shifted. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I will just say that this blows a hole in any kind of dream that you're going to get any one group of people that share melanin or non-melanin, so you can just cover everything.
Mhm.
You're going to get any one group of people somehow come together, because at the end of the day, culturalism means more than how you look. And that's I mean, you know, the guy that made a point about if you're walking down the street, I see you, she's black, you know, it's all off. Well, if I'm walking down the street dressed the right way in Europe, they might think I'm French. I'm not French. You know what I mean? Not French.
So the chat is popping. Snow Bunny. What's weird to me is like when people say shit, and I'm like where you been? Like James Oko does this shit a lot. Like he pretends to be ignorant to a topic, knowing good and goddamn well he's seen it, he knows it. So Snow Bunny, my boyfriend is from DR. It's not blacks that call her black, it's whites. Honey, I've been called black by black people my entire life. Like, where the fuck you been? The people that are mad that she's saying I'm not black are black people. What are you talking about? Like, where the fuck you been? Like,
I see it every time. I see it every time a Latin identifies as Latin and says I'm not black. Black people go up in an uproar every single time. Listen, I didn't even have a problem with Rachel Dozer, whatever the fuck her name was identified as black. I'm like, child, that ain't got nothing to do with me and these damn food prices. All right, the food's gonna still be high, whether she identifies as white or black. Okay,
right, but this is why I play the video like they do to a jury multiple times. The woman said out her own mouth to all the black people that are complaining and whining and crying about we black. She said to the black people. She didn't say to the white people. She said to all the black people that are trying to make us black. So for you to say this girl is not upset, blacks call her that. She's upset that American views her that way. She literally said out of her mouth, black people, literally. But no, this is why I play videos more than once. She literally said to the black people, because it's black people that are constantly trying to make Latins, Latino, Hispanics, Latinx, Latina. They're the ones that are constantly pulling them into the black identity. White people give zero fucks unless they can make some money off your ass. They don't care how you
I have to address something real quick, because we were just sitting there chilling. Jamaicans were sitting there chilling. Jamaicans were sitting there chilling. We're not really saying anything, and we're getting the shrapnel. You know, Jamaicans stay obsessed with Black American people. Yeah, but Black American people stay obsessed with white people. See, here's the thing. Here's the irony of the whole fucking thing. Like, according to y'all, everybody outside of America is obsessed with black people, but y'all black people ain't even obsessed with yourselves. You go out your way to get involved in cultures that have nothing to do with you. You go out your way to look like things that have nothing to do with your phenotype. You go out your way to, you know what I mean, put yourself in spaces that aren't fucking black. So in the end, Black Americans spend most of their lives running away from not being black while telling other people they're black or not. And that's the irony of the whole shit, if you really want to get down in the nitty-gritty of it. See, I can go back to Jamaica, and as poor as that shit is, I'd still be fine. I'm not going to experience racism. I'm good. You'll be as well off as you could be here. You could be a fucking millionaire in here. You'll still experience some form of racism in America. Ain't that deep? Like no kind of system can ever release you from being under the thumb of white people in your mind.
So, Snow Bunny, so you're going to tell me about convos I've had with my best friend? No, I'm going to tell you about my fucking life experience since I was born. That's what I'm telling you about. Get out of the house or get out of the neighborhood or get out of the apartment or the house you're in with your best friend. Go out, explore other ethnicities, specifically Afro-Latinos, and ask them, do Black people tell you that you're Black too? Do Black people tell you, oh, you ain't Black? Wait till the cops pull you over. Oh, you ain't Black? Go to Spain. Like, what do you think? I'm talking out the side of my ass cheek here? I'm telling you to your face, this is what happens in America. Black people want to make anything with melanin Black. I don't know who the fuck your best friend is and what the fuck y'all talking about, but I'm telling you, Lily says she's heard it. Haran said he's heard it. I'm telling you, I've experienced it. I could pull in 10 Afro-Latinos who would tell you the same fucking thing. This chick was just in a video telling you, stop calling me Black. She was just in the video telling you, I don't know this woman from a can of paint. And you still insisting, well, my best friend said that they don't like it when white people call them. And I'm telling you, I have never had a fucking white person in my life tell me, you're Black. It's always Black people telling Latins that they're Black. Always. So what are you talking about?
See, this is why I don't understand. Do you all smoke crack before you tune in?
This is why I played the video more than once. This is why I play the fucking video more than once. Because people got, I don't know what's in here in the middle. It goes in here and then out through there and flat. She literally said, she's literally addressing Black people and they still don't hear it. Well, my best friend said, and this is the problem with people that they don't allow for the experiences of, and this isn't gender specific or race specific or ethnicity specific. They do not allow other people's experiences to be true. I'm not negating that your best friend said, no, it's just white people calling me Black. I'm not negating that, but I'm telling you, the girl said it in the video. I'm telling you, I experienced it. I'm telling you, Lily heard it. It is very, very common. Very common for Black people to tell Latins, wait till the cops pull you over. When Trump was throwing bounty towels at Puerto Ricans, oh, now you know, now you Black. Now you know you Black. It was running rampant online. What the fuck are you talking about? Lift the rock, crawl out, and come on out in the world. This is what Black people do in this country. They treat it like a misery they want company for, but it's always, always according to what a white person is going to say. The white cop, the white teacher, Spaniards who are Caucasians to me. They just speak Spanish. It's always according to what a white person is going to say. So literally, Black people use white people as the scale to decide who's Black and who isn't. Which is wild to me because they supposedly hate white people, yet they bow to all the opinions they have. That's what we're talking about tonight.
Well, I think Chad probably smoked just a little bit of crack prior to tuning in. Because every time I talk about this, every single time people hear it the way they want to hear it, right? Exhibit A always shows up, right? Chad says, hold on. He says, wasn't Lily saying earlier that if you're queer, you're not Black? They do this every fucking time. When I make that example, that Black people always want to put queer people out of the Black community, right? They always come and do it. Like they do it every time. Like, I don't understand what kind of crack. It might be some good crack though, obviously. Because if it gets you this high, some good shit.
So let me say this. I have heard on this panel, when we're having a debate about race or politics or anything like that, and Lily says something, more than one person has sat on this panel, chat, some of you may remember, more than one person has sat on this panel and said, oh, but you gay first, or you LGBTQ first. So it doesn't include you. So now we're acting like that's never been said on the block, where they tell Lily she can't even speak on Black issues because her demographic is LGBTQ. So now y'all never heard that? Y'all never heard that?
Mind you, before you even come into, the moment you come into this world, before you have a thought or whatever, and you know what you identify as, you're clearly based on phenotype, either black or white or whatever it is, and so on and so forth. But due to the fact that black people are so conservative, and so many of them have been forced into thinking that we are all a monolith, you are LGBTQ before you are black. Like, for instance, I'm agnostic, and any other black person who's an atheist, we're atheists and agnostics before we're black.
Right.
Because you see, black means to fall in line. Black means to fall in line with whatever perceptions, whatever ideas that have been what is the word, given the green light by your white masters.
Before I segue, because I do want to hold that thought, Haran, I just want to give a big shout out and thank you to Dr. Octagon, who says Jen is super masculine. Thank you. Quite the compliment. This is my daddy, you see, bitch. But thank you for the compliment. I take that as a compliment. You think it's an insult, but it's a compliment, baby. That means that you see me as your masculine competition, right? All right. Thank you. Moving on. So about black, Haran brought that up. What exactly is black? Because this young lady mentioned, okay, we have a different culture. I think that's very, very important, right? Culture is important. No saying it is true. Culture is more important than phenotype and race and your culture, what you do. What is black? Are you going by complexion, skin color? Are you going by the food you eat? Are you going by the music you listen to, right? Because culturally, she's definitely not black. The woman is not eating chitlins, okay? She's not listening to you know what I mean, probably Babyface's greatest hits, okay? Her mama's not in the kitchen chefing up the collard greens, right? They're not celebrating Kwanzaa. She don't give a fuck about a Black Panther, okay? So what is black? And is black its own identity because it's a culture. And here's the thing, that I view black and black culture as its own beautiful thing, right? The music, the food, the vibe, the appearance, the phenotype, just a beautiful thing all on its own. Why people keep trying to drag other ethnicities into it is bizarre to me. No other ethnicity does that. I'm Puerto Rican. I've been around Puerto Ricans my whole life. We have never tried to pull other people into you Puerto Rican too. Oh, you speak Spanish, Mexican? You speak Spanish, Ecuadorian? You Puerto Rican too. Like I've never, Mexicans don't do it. White people sure the hell don't fucking do it.
Oh God, no.
Okay? So everybody has their own little tribe and culture. No one else is, like the woman said, crying and whining about who's not claiming their identity. And every time I ask this question, and I'm going to ask it again, let me see if chat you could answer, lurkers, you could jump in here. And if you want to come up on the panel, I'll drop the link. This is the question nobody seems to ask or answer. Answer. I always ask Black people, why, listen to the question, why is it important for you, for a Latino or a Latina to claim Black? Answer that question. I answered it clearly. It was in English. Why, if you are Black and you're insisting that these people are Black too, if the cops pull them over, they Black, if Trump said they Black, they Black, I want to know, why is this such a thorn in your side? Why is it a plight? Why is Godfrey, me no Black? Why is it so important to you? For Latinos specifically, Latinos, because Jamaicans, you throw them to the side. Africans, you don't even give a fuck that they claim Black. You don't care. But you have a big heart on your shoulder for Latinos. I just want to know, what can somebody answer that question I am asking in English? Why is it important to you? Because it's important to you. No other ethnicity does this. Why is it important to you that Latins claim they are Black? Why is it important to you? Do you want to share the cocoa butter? Do you want to, what is it? Like, no, I'm fucking serious. Why is it important to you?
And I have another question. I will take it a step further. Well, not a question, but I will take it a step further to say most races and cultures gatekeep and protect their culture and race. for the for the longevity and the purity of it. And I notice with us, it's like we're always trying to bring everyone in, and they get mad when they colonize it, right? And it's like, yeah, because we always are like, I've spoken about this quite a bit, about certain things that are Black culture that it's never protected, right? So it's like, I don't know, it's the opposite effect from anyone else in the world, as opposed to Black Americans. Like, not only not protecting our culture and everything and race, but like wanting everybody to come in and participate in it and stuff, but then get mad when they monetize off of it as well. But then they're monetizing off of Black culture using Black people. So it's a very weird relationship that I still don't fully understand.
Ironically, Jamaicans and Latins are a lot closer. In culture and ethnicity. We actually share a lot of things like foods and so on than Black Americans, which is the funniest shit. You know what I mean? It's like, if anyone should say, like, yeah, we're more alike. Right, exactly. Like, we have plantains, we have Guinea, we have all these things that we share. We might call it differently, but I mean, Kingston used to be called Spanish Town. So it's just a very odd thing, and what I do think is that, and I'm guessing from them, the reason why they feel offended is because I think it's a trigger. They spend a lot of their lives being rejected, and that's fucked up. When they hear someone saying that I'm not Black, they're hearing some sort of denouncement. They're feeling some sort of trigger that's basically saying, like, oh, I'm not Black because it's shameful to be considered such, and to some regard, for some people, it is. I will be frank with you. The old school Caribbeans and the old school foreigners, and they thought being seen as Black was very shameful. That's one of the reasons why they were very clear that now their children, myself and Jen and so on, we didn't have that kind of thinking, because we were born in these spaces. Our friends were these people. We took offense to it, but as we got older, we started seeing certain fucking things like
like nah, you can have that.
Yeah, exactly. Like oh, this is the shit that they was talking about when you were younger. You're like, no, that's my friends. What the fuck you talking about? But then as you get older, it's like, oh, okay, like.
That's a great point. So let's jump on that really quickly. I think Latinos, specifically Afro Latinos, very specifically, like I heard my dad in the house, referencing Africa, or the king of, Africa, or Puerto Rico, I heard him referencing Africa. But he rejected the term Black, specifically Black American. He was like, we are not them, they are not us. He very much drew the line. And them old school Caribbeans, woo, they were hell. The old school Caribbeans, woo, they was hell. Okay. And then we softened as the generations, And like you said, Haran, we'd be like, no, that's my friend. That's my best friend. I liked friends in the house and I liked it. They were that, right? But as you said, we get older and we're like, oh, this is what my father was talking about. Oh, this is what my mother was talking about. But it does come from an insecurity thing, because I can hear 5 Puerto Ricans say, I ain't Puerto Rican. Don't call me Puerto Rican. Call me American. And I'll be like, okay, like, I don't know, what do you, who's next on the Starbucks line? I don't care.
Right.
My vanilla chai, like, it's like, I don't care. But you're right, it's the insecurity and the feeling of rejection. Like, why you don't want to be what I am? What's wrong with what I am? I got a good idea. Why can't come? It's like Fresh Prince, right? And the uncle, how come they don't want me, man? It's the same shit.
It's weird.
I'll answer this question real quick. Haran, were you called a coconut growing up? No, sir. I was often told I had a big dick. Anyway, go ahead, continue.
Yeah. Well,
I like Andre's
I don't know how to get away from that,
response
but
too.
I'll try. There's a couple
Try
of things.
to talk back.
Yeah, I don't think I can, but there's a couple of things going on. Listen, there was one instance I had in when I was in California. I was pulling out a parking lot where there was a sidewalk, and a guy on a bike came out, black guy came out, and I bumped him, and I was seriously like, everything runs through your head. But it's kind of crazy because he has, I said, "Oh, you okay? You okay? I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm not. Don't worry. I'm not like that." You had an accent and everything. I'm not. I think he thought I was worried he was going to sue me. But see, the thing is, and I just bring that up because listen, if you the people that are in the chat that say, oh yeah, you get pulled over and then you find out you're black. I'm just going to assume, just because I know how, as soon as I hear say a Dominican, I may think she's from America by her the way she looks, but as soon as she talks if she has an accent or even an attitude, because we gotta call it like it is. There are differences in cultures, and unfortunately, or fortunately for people that are coming from a Dominican Republic or an impoverished area, Jamaica, these places, they come in with a reputation. So the person that you say, oh, a white person's gonna say you're black. If they come in and you're from the Dominican Republic, they get a leg up, because people know that people from these countries are hard workers. And unfortunately, domestic people, right? I just got domestic black people don't get that they don't get that same look. They don't get, so to say that, white people you're gonna be black it's just not true, because, and it's all due to culture. It has nothing to do with skin color. It's with reputation. When you have a reputation for coming in and kicking ass, people are gonna say, oh, it has, so it's all due, like I said, we were talking earlier, it's a cultural thing more than anything else.
I see a lot more people in the room. Please hit that like for Mama. You are free to come up on the panel and rebut all the opinions here. No, saying, I know you got to bounce.
Yeah, no, I just was gonna say, and the reason I say all that is to say this: the reason why that's the reason why someone like this lady, some people that have that opinion, they want to separate, so they don't, to let you know that no, we are not the same. Because there is benefits to not being a Black American and being from another, you know what I'm saying? So
it's very true.
Yeah.
But wait, let's explore that, shall we? Let's explore. When you say there are benefits to not being Black, what do you mean? Like, how is being Dominican better than being Black? Like, what are the benefits? What is she gonna get?
Yeah, I'm not saying it's it's not saying it's better as in they're better. I'm just saying they come in with a reputation. When you're from another country, another culture, you're viewed upon differently than you are as a Black American. That's what I'm saying.
So what's the reputation of Black people? Why would I come here fresh off a boat? No shade. Why would I come here fresh off a boat and be like, I don't want to be Black, because that represents what? What does Black represent in America?
I'm not going to just, what I will say is I'm not going to
say it, man.
No, I'm not going to say it's just Black people, because it runs to white people. I'm saying when we're talking about two people that look alike, but they're from different places, so that's the reason Black comes into it. I'm saying the people that are second, third, fourth, fifth generation Americans don't work as hard as people that are coming from other places, right? That's what I'm getting at.
Okay, no, there are myriad. You're right. It's a list. It's a list of things. Absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Kevin Conover, I see you nice and hard for me. You keep saying why I'm being so vague. I'm a lot of things. Vague isn't one of them. Ask me a direct question and throw it in a super chat. Put your fucking balls where your mouth is. What's wrong with y'all tonight? And then you get mad when I masculine up on you. Put some fucking money where your mouth is. Ask me a direct question. You'll have my full attention, and I will answer you. I'm a lot of things, honey. I'm not vague. I've never been vague. Not even as a fucking toddler. Okay? My dad called me troublemaker since I could walk. So I'm not vague. Ask me a direct question. Untuck your nuts. Throw a super chat in there, and I'll answer you directly. Vague.
I could tell a lot of you dudes never came to New York for your women. And if you came, you got washed.
Mm-hmm.
They washed you out. and kick you up out of here. Because if you think Jen's brutal, Jesus Christ, there's some chicks out there like there's some chicks out there, man. Look, listen, there's some New York broads, man.
Okay.
Nice. I'm nice. Okay, get my coffee. I'm not. I do like what Buffalo Mind said. Buffalo Mind said, if you're an intelligent, free-thinking person, oh no, we can't have that. We have to make you fall in line with the masses of sheep. I love that. I love that. I love that. Thank you for that. Someone else said Trump wasn't throwing bounties at people's faces. Someone in the crowd asked them to throw it. Well, I'm not talking about like how it happened or why it happened. I'm just saying after it happened, Black people took to social media and they were telling Puerto Ricans, see, you Black too. Now, how does it feel to be Black? I literally saw the memes. I saw the fucking posts. We all saw it. We were there. I feel like Robert De Niro.
All the time. They do all the time and then pretend like they I get so sick of these internet people. So Andre made a really good comment answering your question that you asked earlier.
I didn't hear it.
Okay, so he says all Blacks have is being Black. Dominicans have DR. Puerto Ricans have PR. Jamaicans have Jamaica. African Americans don't have America. So it comes from there.
Ooh, that's a good one. Let me bring that up. Let me pull that up. Hold on. Like this. Hold on. Hit that like for me, y'all. Hold on. Let's hold on. Let's give this a minute. Let's simmer on this one. All Blacks have is being Black. Dominicans have the DR. Puerto Ricans have PR. Jamaicans have Jamaica. African Americans don't have America. So it comes from there. Okay, so then what you're saying is it comes from a place of lack. You are projecting the insecurity or the place of lack that you don't have something. So you're trying to pull everybody else into what? The misery of not having America. That's deep. That's fucking deep. Oh man, no Saint, you leaving now? Boo.
I know. I gotta run. I got a meeting and everything. Plus, I gotta get up early for tomorrow morning too. So
I totally get it.
I hate it because this is a great topic.
It is gonna get spot to the night.
So this is the part that I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Are we oppressed or are we balling? Or both?
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes we balling and sometimes we oppressed, depending on what kind of point we're trying to make in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just go on a limb and say this. Kind of sounds like an abusive wife who still sticks with the millionaire. Because it's like, hey, it's a lot harder to live on your own.
Yikes. Shit.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, you know, if it's that bad, leave. But you don't want to leave. Why would you? Like, it's like Netflix here. It's like basketball. There's like 8 different, you know what I mean, strands of weed and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, if you leave here, it's ugly out there, baby. Like, I would leave.
And Lewis hit on it. Like, that's one of the reasons why I don't like to identify that, because it's a class. Black is used. It was invented to brand a specific group of people as a lower class. I'm not accepting that shit. If you want to accept it, go right on ahead. It's because just because you don't do your research and don't read and you would rather watch Netflix and chill, it's okay, right? I do read, right? And before I accept some shit, that's also why I don't accept LGBT elemental P. Like, I don't just accept shit that people give me. Like, oh, you're this, so you no. You can be that. I won't argue with you.
Hold on. We gotta pause on the heat. That was just some heat that you dropped, Lily. It is class. It wasn't given to the African as complimentary. It was like, we will call you Black because you are less than, and we will always be white and you will always be Black, which is why I think a large part of the community struggles with the word. So they add words to it. Black girl magic, Black power, Black love. Why can't you just be Black? Why do you have to add things? Because you know that the word Black is a negative in this country. So you're always trying to jazz it up when all you have to do is let it go. The colonizers gave it to you. All you got to do is let it go. No, we're going to fight tooth and nail because this is what we are. We're a color. We're color, right? So then we're here having this conversation. Just a lot. Can you get your camera in order? Is it the boo rag? You the same boo rag? Oh, come on. This dude's a weirdo.
What's wrong with
Okay,
this dude?
he's a fucking weirdo.
What's up?
Weirdo. All right, he has not.
He doesn't have any teeth. Like
I don't know what's going on. I
I
don't even want to know what his medical conditions are. I don't want to know. Abby says,
like, what are you doing? Like, what are you?
Abby says, this is not uncommon. I live around many Dominicans that feel the same way. I think it's more of a cultural non-association than racial. I have to agree with that. I have to agree with that. And now that we have so much more other people in the room, please hit that like and subscribe. I'm going to play the video one more again. Listen to her. She is talking about culture, and she's specifically addressing Black people. So please don't sit up here and say, no, it's white people. She literally said out her own mouth. She is addressing Black people because Black people are the ones that are hell bent on making Latins Black like what? Black like them. Let's hear this one more again. Pay attention to what she's saying. Let's not put words in her mouth. Let's just dissect exactly what she said.
And let me be really clear. Blacks are not everywhere. People with African descent are everywhere. Black is meant for like melanated Black, like African descended Americans. That term is not used outside of America. You will not find anywhere on the face of this planet identifying themselves as a color. So no, Blacks are not everywhere. Black doesn't have a country. Like, that's not how it is. But
that's do Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, yes.
All right, let's play this.
I'm Brooklyn.
There you go. So let's hear what she said again. Let's dissect exactly what Mama said.
Are not Black. We are not Black. And no matter how much Black Americans cry about it, we are not Black. We will never be Black. Yes, I look Black, but we are not Black. And it's just a reminder to Black Americans who are so pathetically forcing Dominicans to label themselves as Black. Well, we keep telling them we have our own culture. We know Black, papi. They still force it on us. So just a reminder, Dominicans are not Black, period. That Dominicans are not Black. We are not Black. And no matter how much Black Americans cry about it, we are not Black. We will never be Black. Yes, I look Black, but we are not Black. And it's just a reminder to Black Americans who are so pathetically forcing Dominicans to label themselves as Black. Well, we keep telling them we have our own culture. We know Black, papi. They still force it on us. So just a reminder, Dominicans are not Black, period.
Yo, let me tell you something. Again, if you want to come up on the panel, I will drop the link. Come on up here, rebut whatever you heard tonight. We are open to it. Tonight's the night. Let me tell you something. If and not was Black, African American, ADOS, FBA, whatever the fuck, whatever acronym is popping this year, okay? If and not was, and I heard a Dominican say, you are pathetically crying about me needing to be Black. Y'all are pathetically crying about Dominicans wanting to be Black. I'd be like, bitch, goodbye. If you don't want to be what I am, goodbye. Like, she's telling you to your face, fuck off. I don't want to be what you are. We are not the same culture. You are pathetic. You are crying. You want me to be what you are. I am not what you are. And for you to be an individual that persists and insists, do you know how bottom of the barrel, insecure, low self-esteem you look to another human being? Do you know how crazy that sounds to somebody? Somebody's telling you you're pathetic. You're fucking crying about me being something that you are, because apparently you can't stand on your own being that. Me being Black, I would have been like, fuck you then. Bye.
Does nothing for me. Like somebody in the chat said, oh, what is it? I guess it's not a problem if I identify as what. You can identify as a fucking cat for all I care. I don't care. Identify as a toenail. I don't care. It does nothing for no one.
See, the problem is that one of the reasons why Black people continue to be at the bottom of the socioeconomic totem pole is because they have a very poor understanding of power. And in order to amass power in any context, we have to understand the importance of alliances. Black people are hell bent on separating themselves from everybody, and they're separating themselves from everybody, and they're at a disadvantage from jump. Everybody has to work with everyone at some point in time, and to some degree. You know, whites, for as much as their foot continues to be on the necks of blacks here in America, they have to work with one minority, the Chinese. Oh yeah, they work with the Chinese. They have to. They're in debt with China. You know what I mean? Now, there's a lot of trauma and there's a lot of cutting your nose off to spite your face. That's not helping you, because in the end, you know, whites, once, you know, they could dwindle down, but they went and got themselves, you know, they threw them some Italians in there, threw some, you know, to some context, Jews in there, anything to amass their numbers and to continue the perception that they're in control. Because I'll tell you one thing, they'll hold on to white. They'll hold on to white like a motherfucker because of what it represents and what goes along with it. Now, my thing is this: I'm not saying you shouldn't hold on to black. I'm not saying that at all. But it would behoove you to redefine it, because what the fuck it is right now ain't helping you. So it's in your best interest to redefine that, because if the other guy is holding on to his shit and he's winning, common sense should tell you that, well, if we're still going to get stuck with this name, we got to rebrand it. And if you think your opponent's going to help you rebrand, you're out of your fucking mind.
Wait, but do you think that what I said earlier, do you think that adding, let's say, Black Girl Magic, Black Girls Rock, Black Films Rock, Black Love, Black Power, do you think that's an attempt to rebrand?
Absolutely, it's a supplement. But, you know, my thing is, like, it has to be more than a fucking buzzword. Look, you have to sit down. The pathway to self-reflection and the pathway to self-improvement, you gotta deal with the hard truths. And one of the hard truths is that Black people have low self-esteem. You just have it. You know, now can you correct it? Absolutely, you can correct it, but you have to do the hard and necessary work. You know, do I see that happening anytime soon? Individually, I can see that. Collectively, no, not in my lifetime, if it ever fucking happens, because there's far too much work involved.
Right. And we see that energy will much be rather giving excuses as to why we're in this situation, instead of just admitting the hard truth of the situation and then moving from there. You know, admitting the hard truth is like when you go to the mall and you're lost and you find the map. What's the very first thing you look for on that map? You look for that sign that says you are here, right? Mm-hmm. The hard truth is you are here. And I notice a lot of people in the Black community don't want to admit a lot of hard truths. And I like that you said on an individual level, right? Because I had to admit these things on an individual level. I wasn't going to wait for the community to do it, because I realized these things that we're saying too. I'm Black, was born Black. So these things that we're saying applies to me too, right? And I realized that, oh wow, being Black does come with a lot of low self-esteem, because it's like constantly got the slave movies coming out every year. You know, when I was growing up, it was like 2 or 3 a year, right? Then you go into school and you know you were slaves, right? You know you was oppressed, suppressed, depressed, all depressions, right? Like it's like all this constant, and you think you're not going to have low self-esteem? Come the fuck on. You'll be crazy. So to sit up there and walk around like, I don't have it. No, I don't have it. No, that's not me. Like, that's insane, right? steadily getting like sicker and sicker, and a lot of those things, just not being able to admit hard things, is causing the community to just get sicker and sicker. You know, what is it? What did they say? Secrets die the light of exposure, right? And so a lot of things, we protect our degenerates, we detect our pedophiles, we protect everything that is negative. It's really interesting to watch.
I think that's a humongous part of it, the protection of the underbelly of the race.
Yes.
I think that's a huge part of it. I think, it shows loyalty to a fault, loyalty to stupidity. I preach that here a lot. No matter what race or ethnicity you are, you must ostracize your underbelly. Everybody else does it. The Caucasian does, the affluent Caucasian does not go hang out with the meth heads and then yell at you if you're telling them that the meth head is a piece of garbage. Nuh-uh, we're a community. White people are community. Those meth heads are ours. You don't see that in the Asian community. You don't see the affluent Asians hanging out with the Asians in Chinatown in New York City. You don't see the Latins, the affluent Latins. You don't see the Miami Cubans that think they white. They're not hanging out with the degenerate Cubans. It does not happen. It does not happen. But in the Black community, although we hear a lot, we're not a monolith, right? Let somebody say Black women shouldn't wear bonnets in the airport. Let somebody say Sexy Red shouldn't be twerking on stage, cracked open, pregnant, right? Then the shitstorm starts. Don't be talking about Black women. The plurals happen, right? So then you mix everybody together, right? And it's like kicking around shit. The more you kick it around, the more it stinks. And now we can't tell who's clean and who isn't. So I think that's a big part of it, Lily, is not ostracizing your underbelly. You're never going to get nowhere pulling the degenerates of your race, ethnicity, or class, whatever you want to say, right along with you, because then I can't tell you apart. Welcome, Louis Kanye. How are you, sir? What say you? You guys are welcome to come up.
Hey, what's up, everybody on the panel?
Hey.
I'm trying to stabilize my phone. I'm here at work, but son, I wanted to contribute. Like, I think a lot of this is where a lot of us don't do history and research. With the concept of blackness and whiteness, I recommend a book for everybody to get. It's called White by Law by E. Haney Lopez. Prior to America, nobody went by the term black or white. It was by your ethnicity. The term whiteness came from due to the slave rebellions, and black became a class system. White was the highest and black was the lowest, the mud sill which society lays on. And even when you had other European ethnicities that tried to come and immigrate, it used to go through the Constitution. They used to pass laws, and it was certain European races that were classified as black, and there were certain, like Egyptians, were classified as white. Chinese, I think it was like 3 or 4 times before they were classified as white. The whiteness and the blackness were class systems. It wasn't race. And unfortunately, where I think a lot of people get mixed up, where I saw the video and the lady was correct, a lot of us come from this, I think, where we got a lot of things misconstrued from the Afrocentric movement. It wasn't, we're black. We embraced our African roots, like you're Afro-Latina, right, Jen? Jamaicans, you recognize your African roots, but you embrace you still kept intact your culture. Unfortunately, a lot of us, we see everything like, oh, it's black. No, you embraced your African roots. That's where, you did your studies. Like Professor Schomburg was a Afro-Puerto Rican. And
Yes,
he was one of the forefathers of the Afrocentric movement. Like, like that's, he was the one that taught Dr. Henry Clark and those that followed him. But this is from the lack of doing study and research. And I think a lot of people get mixed up of they put the African roots into blackness. Blackness, like Africans, they're very tribalistic. Even in Africa, like I'm either Ethiopian, I'm Nigerian, even with Nigerian, I'm Igbo, Yoruba, and everything is, but us here, we see everything as one, as a whole, and that's the ignorance of being here in America and doesn't understand the whole world view. Like in China, you have people that identify as Uyghurs and Han tribes, and over in like Russia, we'll say Russians are white. No, they're Slavic. They identify as Slavic. Their tribal ethnicity, and then it goes to their nationality. A lot of people need to do a lot of research and studying with that, and I hope I didn't ramble, but that's why I wanted to contribute to this.
No, you're
But
educated.
blackness is a class system in America, and we are the mud seal. And I think a lot of the psychopathy that comes from, as a whole, subconsciously, Black people realize that they fucked up when we were the dominant minority and we didn't do what we needed to do to gain political power. And now we're trying to co-opt everybody, because right now the Hispanic is the dominant minority right now in America. And like Haran said, it's about power. And when you don't have power, it's go along to get along. You do what the fuck you're told. And even like you said, Jen, when we don't ostracize the degenerates and the trash, we have that burden now where everybody identifies us as the lowest. And in America, it's about power. The purpose of power is to abuse it. You reward your allies and you punish your enemies. And if you don't have power, you don't have the right to live. You don't have the right to breathe. You don't have the right to eat. Everything you get is by mere charity.
Yep.
When you don't have power, you have no rights. Everything you get is by mere charity. And that is the universal laws of power. And motherfuckers need to wake up. And I rest my mic.
Yeah.
Solid points. Quick thing I want to say. Look, it's the last time I'm gonna address this guy for the night. Haran was othered by Black American men as well growing up. Oh, you a fucking idiot. I grew up in New York in the 1980s and 90s, man. Like Jamaicans and Blacks and Jamaicans, period, also, we were the fucking shit. Everybody wasn't fighting like you motherfuckers were back then. You know what I mean? Like everybody was loving on each other, fucking each other, you know what I mean? Doing all kinds of wild shit back in the 80s and fucking 90s, particularly in New York. You people grew up with all these insecurities that have and these ideas that you have allowed to define you, to define your worldview, to handicap you, to tell you that you'll never be this, you'll never be that, you don't have the capabilities of this, because you have sworn to adopt the ideas and the mechanisms that have been inserted in you. It is literally embedded in your subconscious mind that you would think that I was treated as other. Nigga, please.
Can I say one more thing? And where people go around with talking about white supremacy, Lily, you wanted a list of books. Get White by Law by E. Haney Lopez, and this is going to be a real thick book if you want to understand racism and what they talk about white supremacy, and people don't even know what white supremacy is.
No.
Get Tragedy and Hope by Carol Quigley. It's a real thick book, and it explains everything what's happening right now on the world stage. What you think racism is some hillbilly that like, oh, I hate niggers. No. It's Western civilization. It's the economic, it's that white supremacy is that who controls the economic power in the world.
Right.
That's why you go on Instagram, like you go on Instagram, Facebook. That's why when a white lady says nigger in a Walmart, that's why they blow it up out of, because they want you to think that's racism. They want you to think concentrate on that Karen, right? They want look, that's racism over there. Meanwhile, you're getting fucked in the ass by the government, you're getting fucked in the ass by the politics, you're getting fucked in it, right? But it's like, no, look, that's racism over there when that lady she has no power.
Right.
She has zero power. Matter of fact, she's at the same Walmart as you because you're on the same level.
Right.
She has no power, right? So this here, speaking of white people, Snow, right? She says, he or she, I don't know what the fuck this is, but I'm around whites all day and they say stuff when their guard is down. They view you all as black. Trust me. Okay, so let me okay, keyword here, when their guard is down. Tonight, we're talking about black people who are very adamant and vocal about calling Dominicans black. We're talking about people that say shit out loud, not scary white folk who speak, when they think their guard is down. Another thing is, maybe you're late to the class, okay? We don't give a fuck what white people say on guard, in guard, under guard, when they're off guard, when they're caught off guard. This is what I keep trying to stress to you all. White people are not gods to us. We don't give a fuck. Trust me. They trust me. When their guard is down, trust me. They view you all as black. So now I'm gonna identify as black because a bunch of scary white folk say that we're all black. Like,
the white worship,
like the cowardice of these people and the way they view white people like the end all be all. I'm around white people and they view all of you as black. I tells you, trust me now. Master
Jen,
all niggers. Like, who the fuck y'all think y'all talking to? What is this scary?
Look at this shit. Like, I'm
Jen,
sure.
can I say something right quick?
Go ahead, Kanye.
Let me tell you with the so-called white people that think that way. Let me tell you something. Racism was the biggest joke ever played on white people because those that are in power made they goofy asses think that their color is more important than their economic standing. And they fell for the okie doke just like everybody else. You white people, just like us, got the fucking trick bag and they don't even realize it. It's about money and fucking power. Just like Quran always talk about. Money and power. You're worrying about the wrong fucking things. And I get pissed off, because people don't read, they don't study, they never paid attention in school, they don't do research, and this is why people are in the predicaments that they're in. I apologize for my ramble. I'm going to cut my mic off.
And you know what? It will always be classable for race. Always be classable for race. And I've said that a million times on here, but I think people focus on the fact that people still focus on race. They, like you said, it's an okie doke. And this year they're gonna pull out all the little stops with the race baiting stuff for the election because it keeps us distracted, and people fall for it every time. Like, because the black people and the white people fall for it. It's a emotional monetization.
Look, listen, man. Here we go. I'm sure Biggie wasn't repping Jamaica or FBA culture, just trying to survive with his peeps. The Caribbean Day Parade started in the 1920s, you dumb fuck. The math tells you that there were a good number of people who were proud to be Caribbean, particularly Jamaicans. Now, here's the thing. Again, the gentleman said he was born in 1988. It all makes sense right now.
It all makes sense. Yeah.
It all makes sense right now. You niggas was part of the pussy bunch. You are like most. Let's call it what it is, Jen. We grew up with some motherfuckers that was really about the shits. They was really with the shits. We grew up around motherfuckers who showed up to the rallies, who got beat up and fucked up by cops, who stood up for things. You motherfuckers running chats like this and type and and call us tethers and shit like that and all that other nonsense. Meanwhile, you're not on the front lines. As a matter of fact, meanwhile, if you actually said something and somebody actually bust you over the head with a fucking brick, you be the first one calling the white cops to save you. Okay, let's just call it what it is. So respectfully, stop thinking that motherfuckers was out here running scared. That shit wasn't happening, particularly in New York. Everybody was loud and proud in that bitch. Everybody, okay? And it was respected, period. Anyway, go ahead.
So Joe Random, his name is Joe Random, says being black, quotation marks, interesting concept that doesn't really make sense. Can you expound on that, Joe Random? He says it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'd like to know where he's
Hmm.
from with that one.
Doesn't
I
make
mean, hey,
sense.
we're getting under these motherfuckers' skin tonight.
Oh yeah,
Like, look,
they
homie, like,
It's
look, homie, it ain't my fault that you can't look in the, you can't look on something.
we black like it's one of two arguments, right? It's either this clown here, FBA. You know, how does it even feel to use a different acronym every fucking 2 or 3 years? Like you have no identity whatsoever. I
Even
can
from
make
Wakanda, like 4 years ago.
yeah. Like this is I thought we were on ADOS, now we're on FBA. Next 2 3 years is gonna be something else. You know, African Sky Lord.
Native Americans.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Like they have no identity, and it's actually sad. It's fucking sad. But this idiot here is one of two things. It's either Latinos want to be FBA so bad. It's either that. It's either that, or yeah, or yeah, black. They have no identity. So and no power. More importantly, they have no identity and no power. So it's hilarious when they try to label anybody. It's literally like a blind guy trying to tell you how you should see colors.
Right, because you was giving your label. How you gonna give out labels when you were given a label?
Right. You literally adopted slave masters' identity. You literally got colonized and said, I'll be whatever you call me, sir. But then you want to jump in a chat and tell Latins, Asians, whites, purple, blue, black, green, or yellow. You want to tell them how they are to identify. And you want to tell them who they are.
Because white people, you scared of white people. Because you so
Right.
scared of white people. I'm supposed to fucking sit here and accept all that.
And be scared with you. I'm supposed to sit here and be said, okay, whatever you said, we's black. I'll get master says we's black, we's black. It was a class. They literally called you a color to keep you underneath the opposite, which is white. Like, that to me is fucking common sense. How do people not see this? It is common. It is literally black and white. It is common sense.
And I mean, they can't see anything. Like they can't see. Like I've even asked a lot of people this. Don't you see that every single thing that comes from your indigenous culture, like it's been labeled as bad, and you accept it? Like that's the craziest part. Like every single thing, like down to your spirituality, that's called evil and witchcraft and demonic. And you go for it, and you in exchange for this white guy with the dress on, right?
If you kind of really want to get technical, black culture is really an offshoot of white culture.
Yes, it is, because it's American. It's just American culture.
Please elaborate. Let me see a super chat, y'all. Y'all lighting up the chat, talking all that shit, beating off to the block. I ain't seen one super chat come through. The first. That's interesting. I never heard that concept. I'd like to hear.
Culture is based on entirely influenced by the majority.
Yeah, American culture. It's just American culture.
So if in Puerto, let's take PR for instance. Yes, it has a culture. The majority of the people follow a certain thing. Now there might be certain, you know, I mean, I'm not from there, but I assume there's probably certain subsects that have their own cultures and so on and so forth. But the direct lineage of it is from, you know what I mean, Puerto Rican culture, the majority of it. Now, it stands to reason that, of course, if there's black culture in America, if the majority is white and it is based on FBA and it's based on American, then the core of it is American culture. And the majority of American culture is white culture. You know what I mean? You just didn't, you know what I mean, the pig, that shit was loved by the fucking white man. He just gave you it. And you took the shit and you figured out how to do whatever with the parts of it that he allowed you to eat. And that became a part of your culture. Everything that he gave you that destroys you health wise, it was for a reason, because he's not eating that shit. He gave it to you, and it became a part of your fucking culture.
Right.
You have to derive this shit from somewhere. It doesn't exist in a fucking vacuum. You know what I mean? You're not getting any of this shit from Africa. Motherfuckers don't eat fucking chitlins in Africa.
Right.
Motherfuckers don't even wear certain garb in fucking Africa. You know what I mean? They do not. They have certain customs in Africa. You know what I mean? Just the concept of marriage itself. You're following European ideals. You're following the law that they created for you. You follow the God that they gave you.
That's what, like everything like that.
Jamaica, they got Rastafari.
That brought a tear to my eye because it's so true. So it's funny when this dude jumps in the chat. Latins follow NBA culture. What are we following Americans? Because that's the culture that you guys have. It's American culture, white people. So
yeah, Black culture is American culture, and like we fight to be a part of their culture. We fight each other to be a part of their culture.
Man, I'm not mad at Black people, period. Y'all mad at us.
Right.
I'm not fucking your life up. You should take this anger and this vitriol that you have, and you should get with your people, and you should take over this fucking country that you tell yourself that you have the capabilities to do. I ain't got shit to do with this shit. I got nothing to do with it. I hope you get reparations. I'm not gonna ask for the shit. I don't benefit from it. You know what I mean? But don't get mad at me, nigga. If the nigga next door whooping your ass, imagine that shit. Nigga next door whipping this nigga ass, and every time I come out, he's like, "See, man, it's because of you, nigga." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what I gotta do? Like, no, I live here by myself. I'm alone. You keep getting your ass beat by that nigga.
It's true.
This comment here is interesting. Thomas Irizarry says, it's not just Afro-Caribbeans, though. There does seem to be this unfortunate disconnect between Black Americans and African people outside of America. And let me touch on the acronyms across the board. I'm not fucking with your acronyms. I'm not fucking with Latinx. I'm not fucking with Latine. I'm not fucking with I'm with Latin, Afro-Latina, happy to be a descendant of Africa. That is how I identify. And if you don't like it, you go run in traffic, because guess what? I'm still going to identify like that tomorrow and the day after. And even when a cop pulls me over, I'm still going to identify as Afro-Latina. And even if I go to Spain and they say, you're not a Spaniard, which I am not, I'm probably not a Spaniard, I'm still going to identify as Afro-Latina. And y'all still going to be mad.
Look, man, at the end of the day, look, these motherfuckers can't tell me nothing because they can't even control their own fucking women.
Wait, where are we going? Where's the street?
They can't control their own fucking women. They can't.
Wait a minute, where the street?
We do that in the Caribbean. We do that in the Caribbean. We know how to control. Our women get wet and they fall in line in the Caribbean. Your women tell you what to do, nigga. Your mamas tell you what to do, nigga. You niggas can't even go out in public on a public forum and say what the fuck you fucking mean with your chest without being afraid of getting torn apart by a bunch of fucking women. Don't come at me, nigga. You niggas is pussy. You niggas want to come at me or with all this other shit. Go bring that energy to your woman. Go bring all that energy to your fucking women. And they'll tell you to shut the fuck up. And you'll shut the fuck up.
Or get out.
On
They
cue.
tell them to get
On
out.
cue, nigga. On cue. Get the fuck out of here.
What is happening?
Yo, I'm not making none of this shit. Fucking James up here every minute. He whining and crying about why some broad, you know what I mean? They giving him the space to speak. The fuck
But that's why Kevin Samuels rose to fame the way he did, because they all ran over there and it was like, we have space to speak.
They live vicariously through him. You know, I didn't go over there because I ain't got no problem telling a woman shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? I don't have that issue. You niggas do.
Man, we are wicked tonight. The block is wicked tonight. Hit that like for me. So what do you think about this comment though? Like it is an unfortunate disconnect between Black American and African people. I was like, and I don't have my sign tonight, some, not all, but we already know Africans don't like being called Black either. Now, can you go to Africa and find some Africans and be like, hey, I don't mind being called Black? Yeah, but are they going to come here and be like, don't associate me to that? Yeah, you're going to find that too. So it is an unfortunate disconnect, but it is a disconnect. And I think it's going to always exist because, again, that unnatural allegiance to losers, right?
And another thing too, y'all say a lot of things about Jen, but she don't act certain ways around niggas that ain't like y'all. I seen that shit with my own eyes. Niggas that don't
This ain't about me.
Right, because you see James come up here crying about, well, the Black women, it wouldn't have happened if the Black women wouldn't have put the Black man out. Well, damn, she had that much power to put him out. Like, this man didn't have power in his own house.
You motherfuckers wake up every moment of your life getting kicked down the road like a pebble by your own fucking women. The fuck out of here. Every day of your life, you get kicked around like a fucking can. Get out of here.
You mean to tell me welfare was a better option than you, sir?
And he continues, and not to be crass. At the end of the day, half of y'all mad because, and I'm gonna just come out and say it, your bitch chose the white man, and she continues to do so.
So let me ask this. Let's veer into a little bit phenotype, right? Because there is this strange obsession with Black people and Latin, specifically Dominicans. Dominicans are a fucking thorn in their side. I don't know why some of the Dominicans are really a thorn in their side, right? But why, I would think, and I'm trying to learn here tonight myself, right? Why there are a plethora of Black people who don't want to be Black. And I'm talking about people that you would consider Black. I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying, like a Little Kim. Little Kim would stand there and say, I'm Black. You know, Beyonce would say, I'm Black. You know what I mean? And then when you see how they present, right? If I had a little Black daughter, my daughter's half Black. If I had a little Black daughter and I was teaching her about Black culture, let's say, right? I think that someone like Little Kim or Beyonce, some of y'all gods, Beyonce, right? I think she would be a horrible representation if I'm trying to teach my daughter Black culture, because those women are trying to present as Caucasian as possible, right? They're trying to present as Caucasian as possible. So how am I going to tell my little girl, look at Beyonce? And we all saw Beyonce's last pictures. She looks, let me see if I still have it. I don't think I do, but we're going to tell the truth and shame the devil. I don't have the fucking picture. I'm pissed off. I deleted it. Fuck. No, I got it. Here we go. So I did a show about white fishing. So look at the upper right photo of Beyonce there. And then the bottom right photo of Little Kim. And then we have Nene Leakes. Those women, those Black women, are presenting as Caucasians. This is aside from, you're going to tell me there's an Aboriginal tribe in deep caves of Africa and their hair grows blonde. We are in America. These women are not imitating the Aborigine tribe in the caves that their hair grows naturally blonde. These women are not emulating that tribe. They are emulating Caucasians, American Caucasians. Hence the hair, the contacts, the hacked off noses. Okay? That is not Beyonce's original nose. That is not Little Kim's original nose. That is not Nene Leakes' original nose. And those are just three. So here's my question again. You know, I'm asking the questions, right? Those women I would not use to teach a Black child, hey, look at how iconic Black people can be, because they are presenting as white, right? So my question is, for the Black community, it seems like y'all got bigger fish to fry before you even hit the Latins. Like, are you telling Beyonce, are you even considering looking at Little Kim and attacking her, right? Or looking at a Beyonce attacking her or have you been bamboozled and hoodwinked? You know what I'm saying? Because I would think if I'm black and I'm saying I'm black, I'd be insulted by looking at Beyonce looking like that. I'd be insulted. So you hacked off. You're saying black girl magic, but you hacked off half your nose and you're under a platinum blonde wig and you lighten your pictures. Little Kim, you run around in blue contacts. You hacked off half your face. You look like an Asian Caucasian woman and you run around with a blonde wig. I'd be insulted as a black woman. I'd be like, what the fuck is that? Why would I give you more money to be more white? So I would think the vitriol and the attack of, you black dude, you have it right in your backyard to complain about. So why even worry about the Dominicans when you got Beyonce running around looking like white chicks? Like, and
Sarah C says Jamaican men know how to control women with their big dicks. And she also says that American men admit that they're basura when they claim black women chose destitution, welfare over them.
I would never tell nobody.
This is the thing. This is the thing. Everyone knows that you're man children. Everyone knows that everyone knows. It's not a secret. It's not a secret. You're not necessarily synonymous with hardworking. You're not necessarily synonymous with pride. There's a time when you were. I've
you gonna
met
make me get my not all sun sign. You gonna make me get my not all sun sign. Hold on.
They were a number of black Southern men that I met who were hardworking blue collar men who were solid dudes, who were prideful, who understood a man is a man. You new niggas basically want essentially some submissive providers. That is exactly what you want. I've seen this shit where you want a woman to basically exist in two places at the same time, which no human being can do. When I mean that, I mean a provider that's masculine energy, and to submit is feminine energy. So you want her to exist in two spaces at the same time. It's physically fucking impossible. But you see, the irony is this: the men who subscribe to that thinking, you're not existing in two places at the same time. You're actually existing in one space at the same time, but you're carrying and you're putting on the garb of someone who's actually masculine, of someone who's actually out here trying to put, shit to the fire. Because if you really were that dude, you wouldn't be asking why about anything. See, real niggas don't ask about why about anything. They say how, and they push motherfuckers out of the way. Real motherfuckers that I know, that I learned from, their mentality is move or be moved.
And for the record, just stating, some, not all, we know amazing, accomplished black men.
Absolutely.
And I mean amazing, honey.
Kanye being one of them. You know what I mean? Semper Fi, salute to that dude.
And this is why these people who talk like this are foreign to me. They really are. I can't stress this enough. I didn't even hear this type of talk until I got on YouTube. The black men in my circle, in my family, in my home are not like this. They don't talk from a place of defeat and a place of lack and a place of both worshiping and hating white people. They just don't think about them. Like, I promise you, my family it's so funny because when the first person in my family married a white person, and you know how you do the first, like the families come together before it was so funny because my family's just sitting over there looking like, so what do they do? What do they eat? Do they cook their food before they this is interesting. Because it was like a case study for them, because it was like, we just don't deal with them. We don't know anything about them. So when I hear all of this, it's just very weird to me. It's very interesting.
So Miss Ruth says black people went from Negro to black to Black Power Days to African American to ADOS to FBA. Yeah, that's why I said I'm not doing the acronyms with you. I'm not even doing the Latin acronyms. I'm not doing it. Y'all could keep Latinx. Y'all could keep whatever's coming after that. Matter of fact, there's Latin A came after Latinx. Y'all could keep all of that. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it with y'all. Not doing it. Y'all can do it. It's
Yeah.
somebody said something I was trying to pull up. I did drop the link, Lewis. I don't know if you asked for it again. I dropped the link.
I'm just curious as to who is FBA, because if that's all that's required, then that means that those of the LGBTQ community, if they are Black, born in America, and their lineage is slaves in America, that means that automatically makes them FBA. And
No.
to exclude them would essentially make a mockery out of your whole fucking organization.
Mhm.
Well, no, I don't.
Foundational Black American. So if you're foundational, if you are truly foundational Black American, that means everybody. That means the atheists. That means the agnostics. That means the LGBTQs. That means the trans. That means all of those. And if that doesn't mean them, then that means that there should be an asterisk put to the side of that. There should be an asterisk that says that you are not Black unless you live up to these ideas and so on and so forth, unless you are this monolith. I'm pretty sure that a gang of motherfuckers from Atlanta qualify, you know what I mean, as FBA though. I'm pretty much a lot of nigger behavior qualifies as FBA, but you know, that's par for the course.
Yeah, it's convoluted. This one qualifies, this one doesn't. This one, it's I see you backstage, darling. If you want to hide behind an avatar, we're okay with that, but you either have to super chat or cash app. Okay, I see you backstage. If you want to hide behind the avatar, that is okay.
These guys are really just embarrassing themselves tonight. One of them misspelled blood clot. Like it was just like it's just weird to see this shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird to see this shit, just to really think that you're standing on something that makes any sense, but you don't. Mm-hmm. But that's what happens when you're filled with emotion.
Yes. I'm starting to think FBA is a sports team. Like, because, you know, they do trade-offs. You know, like sports teams do trades, like, you know, first draft pick and stuff like that. So, like, they'll trade, like, a queer person for a Latinx or Latin A or I don't know which one they want to trade for. But they, you know, they'll trade off atheists for Dominican or transgender for Puerto Rican. Like, you know, I think that's how it works. I'm still trying to figure this thing out, but I think I'm getting closer to an answer. It's like a sports team.
See, and here's another thing. You know, again, this is where you're shooting, you miss. 13. Your homeland had 1,394 homicides in 2023 with a population of 3 million people. Yeah, and you know, Chicago is still a fucking war zone, and Black men continue to be the number one reason why Black men are killed in America. So what are we talking about here? What are we really talking about here? Your enemy ain't me. It's actually FBA, motherfucker. If you are to die, you're most likely going to die by FBA. That's just it. Statistically speaking, a foundational Black American is going to kill you quicker than I would. But anyway.
Jesus H. Christ. Some, not all. Where's my son, damn it?
You know, if dudes want to smoke, we could do it. We could do it, right? The link's there. Also, just
I don't know who it was.
Like y'all don't see the link. Don't be acting like y'all don't see that shit.
For someone who mentioned Godfrey, I know Godfrey, bitch. I know Godfrey. I speak to Godfrey. I know him from the fucking Bronx. I invited him up here to defend his Me No Black. He backed out. I don't know why y'all think somebody's scared to confront people or talk to people. He backed out. I've said that here numerous times on different panels and different streams. We spoke about his Me No Black. He said he was going to come address it. He did not come address it. I can't twist his arm and get him up here. I guess it's just a joke he was saying, and he didn't want it challenged. That's fine. He's a comedian. He's allowed to joke how he says fit. I, however, wanted to have the debate and the conversation of why he has such a hard on for Dominicans being Black. He didn't want to come up here and defend it. Maybe it was just a joke, a set time. And that's that for whoever's mentioning Godfrey. I know Godfrey. Godfrey's not, oh my God. Yeah, I know Godfrey from the Bronx.
He's not like some intellectual debater. I don't look at him
Right. It's like they acting like they're acting like he's a Umar Johnson. Like,
right.
And we got to get our notes together. It's funny.
Right.
It's funny. Now, if it was Umar, if it was Umar, I would get my notes together. You motherfuckers is easy work. Anyway,
Right.
Umar said something that was real deep, and it was in reference to some of the things that I say about the Black church. He was basically saying, and I'm summarizing, there was a time when the Black church was a space of against the white supremacist, dynamic. It was essentially, a space where our people rallied against the system. Now, he basically said, now once they saw that King and Malcolm lost their lives in the pursuit of that, in the pursuit of building our people, building, Black people, they became scared and they became a part of the system. And they worked in tandem with the system to ensure that Blacks remain subjugated. And I've said this, many times, that the Black church is an extension into some degree of white supremacy and the white power structure. This is why a lot of times when you see Democrats and to some degree Republicans, attempting to get the community, they work in tandem with the Black church. So in many ways, that's another component that you guys need to discuss, but you never will. You never will. You don't got the guts. You don't got the fucking balls to put the Black church on the chopping block and discuss the pedophilia, the narcissism, the homosexual sex that you are so against, how much of it actually runs rampant through the Black church. You just don't have it in you, because that component lies at the heart of your subjugation and your slavery. I will say that, because by being told subconsciously that a white man is your savior, I can't imagine what that has done to so many of you throughout your lives. Can't relate though.
Sarah C says most Dominicans don't look like Amara La Negra. I'm just saying, this is true. This is my friend from like elementary school. She's 100% Dominican. That's her. Absolutely. And her mama. So yes, a lot of Dominicans look like this as well, right? So, and Joe Random says, so Oprah is Black. 85% of the NFL is Black. Good luck with teaching what is being Black. I'm not teaching anything. We're just having a conversation. People are going to die on their hills, and that's fine.
Absolutely. I mean,
we're not change minds here. Like, people are going to die on their hills.
Because, I'm a cam down.
Hold on. Kevin, pay me and I'll define my culture. Pay me, bitch. Your broke ass been popping shit for the past 2 hours and we about to wrap and you still beating off to me. Pay me. Pay me. You trick. Pay me. And I'll answer your questions. I told you I ain't answering shit unless you pay me. Some of y'all gotta pay. The fuck? Anyway, you were saying, hurrah.
Oh, nah, at the end of the day, when we cam down, I still have the balls to tell my chick, shut the fuck up, and you motherfuckers ask permission if you can get another bowl of Wheaties before you can go to bed. So we're not the same, sir. We are not the fucking same.
All right. Okay. So we got 60 people in the room. I hope you hit that like and subscribe. Louis Kanye came up today and fucking dropped a fucking bomb on your head. You really, if you take nothing else away, if you don't like us, if you don't like the block, but obsessed with us anyway, because that's why you're in my chat right now. If you're not going to take anything we said, really listen to what Louis Kanye said and get that book that he was talking about. Because a lot of you are, the ignorance overflows. Like, it's really sad. And I'm not, that's not an insult. I'm genuinely saying a lot of y'all are really sad. Y'all are too old to be this ignorant. Y'all are not children. Read a fucking book.
Please.
Okay?
Please.
So it's getting hot in there. Yeah, very true. Andrew Libre, he says, I hate to say this, but not even Blacks want to be Blacks. During the Civil War, Creoles in La Tried cut their own side deals. Black freedmen descendants fight to keep their status of Cherokee.
Right.
And this, again, this is why I say, if you're worried about people not identifying as Black, there are Black people who don't want to be Black, and you should start there. I would. Like if I had a beef with Puerto Ricans and ethnicity, I would start with Puerto Ricans before I branch out to, you don't want to be Puerto Rican, you don't want to be Puerto Rican, you're Puerto Rican. Like I'm not gonna do it. And I'm just saying hypothetically, because I don't give a fuck how people identify. You could be my own sister and my blood sister, DNA. And if my sister says, don't call me Puerto Rican, bitch, what you want me to call you then? I don't give a fuck. Like I don't. Puerto Rican's not something that I have to pull you into so I can feel good about it. I'm not that girl. Okay, so let's read these super chats. And no one else is coming up. We had somebody in the back, but they didn't want to pay. And I told you guys you could come up with the avatar, but you got to pay a fee to hide. We don't mind you hiding, but you have to pay a fee to hide. Otherwise, come up with your face. I know people are like, no, I have to hide my identity because of work reasons. Then don't come up. That's fine.
And that's the thing, you know, you motherfuckers, you're afraid to lose your job. You're afraid to be employed by the white man so much that you hide your opinions. You hide behind these avatars. You know, if you're really men, if you're going to be okay regardless, say the fuck what you need to say with your chest. You don't think I have a job? You don't think that, you know, at some point in time somebody might stumble onto this shit in the algo that I work with and I not give a fuck? It's just, hey, I said what I said and I stand by it. You motherfuckers love to poke your chest out, but you live in fear. Like this dude, Kevin, I'm pretty sure when he goes to work, that motherfucker is stepping and fetching like a motherfucker.
Fit, feminine, and friendly.
He goddamn right. He is fit, feminine, and friendly like a motherfucker. Kevin,
he's tough. He's
where those reports are.
I got it.
1 second, sir.
They always
responding to a very masculine Jamaican man, you know what I mean, on
white man. Or white man.
they always tough in the chat.
Always.
He gonna pop up tomorrow though, 9 a.m.
Oh hell yeah, he's gonna be there bright and early.
All right, let me read these super chats. Thank you so much for the super chat and supporting the show. Don't forget Cash App on the Block with Jen if you enjoyed the drama. We are here every night.
So amazing, man, because you motherfuckers, you despise me so much. I hang out with two girls with bigger balls than half of you motherfuckers.
Right, that's the problem. I'm like,
it popped off. And I just had them. I'd be a lot more secure than a number of you motherfuckers, man. You niggas is the type of niggas to show up with a gunfight with no bullets, purposely talk about, yo, son, I forgot. That's the type of niggas you.
Kevin, are you mad that I don't flirt with you? Do you feel sexually insulted?
Angel Libre says, I think FBA and ADOS is an attempt to replace a father figure on a smaller level and on a larger level create nationalistic culture, which both are more or less absent in the Black community. Man, my chat be smart.
I see. Look, I can't do that, bro. I can't stop flirting with Lily because I need some between time moments when I ain't railing out your bitch.
Come on, what's on tonight?
Keeps me on my toes. Keeps me on my toes out here. You know what I mean? After I tell your bro, hey, daddy's gonna come back. Let me go handle this fucking bullshit over here. Keep it warm for me.
Jesus. Thank you for the super chat, Louis Kanye, and supporting On the Block with Jen. Help mama keep the street lights on for ya. Louis Kanye says, the Black church is nothing but a well-kept monument of spiritual, economic, and cultural failure. Damn, the Black church is catching strays tonight. And also, Israel Grace, thank you for always supporting the show. Thank you for your super chat. Miss Ruth, thank you so much for that as well. Yeah, this was a good one. We could do a part 2 if y'all want it. If y'all want a part 2, leave it in the comments. Thank you, I'll be back for that compliment. Hit that like and subscribe. This was a great show. Even the trolls are the cogs in the wheel too. Thank you, trolls, for pulling up. Again, guys, if you want to come up, we welcome you to come up and rebut and argue with us, but show your fucking face. If you don't want to show your face, just throw something in the super chat out of a courtesy or Cash App. Come on now. Y'all used to throw 50s and 100s in Kevin Samuels chat and y'all beat off over there. Stop acting like, you know what I'm saying? This don't cost money. Okay.
I don't know if that's the same Al. I don't know if that's the same Al B I used to perform at the Pyramid with. EOW. That's the same I'll be back. I'm not too sure.
I don't know.
Everybody, I ain't met too many I'll be backs, but anyway, yeah.
All right, guys. So that's our show for this evening. Thank you for being here, trolls, and a wonderful smart chat. Thank you for being here, and don't forget
this nigga said Janisha. What the fuck? Like, bro, like
we will not. I don't know who the fuck that is. We don't know. We're Mariah Carey. We don't know him. We don't know
right. I don't know her.
We let him live tonight, but you know that motherfucker's going through the block uprights on one of these streams. He'll be in the block uprights crying from another channel.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Every time I block these motherfuckers, let me go on my other channel so I can come back. All right, guys. Good night. Love you all. Be good, and we can't be good. Be careful. Don't forget, support the show On the Block with Jen. Cash App. We're here every night. Sundays, catch us on Sisterhood Sips. Lily and I. That show is popping. We went viral for the 3rd time, and we've only been on a couple months. That is Sisterhood Sips. We talk about men, and more men, and what we really think about men. So if you want to be a fly on the wall, gentlemen, and find out what we really think about you in every which way and form. And we don't bash, okay? We just keep it real and we give you all the secrets. Ladies are loving it over there. The gentlemen are loving it over there. We went viral 3 times, millions of spins in a couple months. So get on over there. It's its own channel. We don't do that here. Sisterhood Sips, it's on its own channel, spelled just like that. And we also have an Instagram page. Let me remove this banner real quick. These are our handles on the screen, On the Block with Jen, at YB Limited. And Haran DeMarco, if you guys don't know, Haran DeMarco is a musician, and you can catch him playing the instrumentals on his channel as well. We some talented motherfuckers, okay? We not just up. Oh, by the way, I'm an actress. You can catch me on Tubi in The Bag Girls 2. I play Solera Castillo. Go over there and see if I get killed or naked. You never know. I'm also in White People Money, spinning on the Stars Network and Amazon, okay? If I said it too fast, just rewind this shit. Thank you so much for being here. Good night, y'all.
Right.